These forges are absolutely massive and yield some of the most heavy-duty products around. It's not hard to feel a strange sense of satisfaction as we watch the red-hot metal bend and forge into shape. Join me as we look at 15 of the most incredible forging machines in the world. Number 15. Counterblow hammers. There's the hammer that you keep in your toolbox, there's the bigger hammer that your father keeps in the shed, and then there are huge hammers that you'll find in a factory. We're talking here about counterblow hammers. These machines have earned themselves quite the reputation with the raw power and sheer force that they're able to exude day in and day out. They are predominantly used in the manufacturing of large and ultra-large forgings and use their high-impact energy to beat molten steel into submission. The counterblow hammer relies on hydraulics and works with a high level of precision and its own weight as it moves in opposite directions and the pneumatics drive home to get the job done. Counterblow hammers, especially those with the aforementioned hydraulic drives, are best suited for the medium tonnage productions, and there's no need whatsoever to develop or install complex compressed air systems. So sometimes the simplest method is the most effective. One of the largest and most powerful of these forging machines comes from the manufacturer Schuler, which contracts out their heavy machinery to help create things like trucks, ships, and trains. Their most powerful counterblow hammer is able to crank out over 80,000 metric tons of force. Yeah, that's not the type of machine you want to get your finger ever caught in, because it'll smush it into smithereens. Number 14. BGH Edelstahl. One of the biggest and most reliable names in specialty steel is the German company BGH Edelstahl. They're working every day with stainless steel and nickel alloys in the hopes of paving the way for the future of renewable energy sources like natural gas, solar, and wind energy. And they've got the heavy-duty machinery to back that promise up. The company's been around for nearly 600 years, so it's safe to say they know exactly what they're doing with their state-of-the-art forging plant and integrated production process that does everything from melting to the finished wire, rod, and open die forging. Yeah, the list keeps on going. But one of their favorite toys in the forge has got to be their open die forging unit from their friends at ZDAS. The forging unit is absolutely massive and holds on tightly to the bright red-hot steel beams and uses a hydraulic drive with up to 2 forging manipulators. And since we're living in the 21st century, you can rest assured that this huge piece of machinery is totally programmable and works automatically to give humans a rest when things get a little too hot. This sort of thing is the real deal, and definitely not to be trifled with unless you're an expert. Maybe better yet, just leave things to the good old folks at BGH Edelstahl. Number 13. Sorel Forge. Based out of Quebec, Canada, Sorel Forge has been around forever and really rose to prominence during the Second World War when the demand for steel for the Allied forces shot through the roof almost overnight. They quickly became the first and only production center of artillery equipment in North America and were using raw materials to manufacture weapons for the winning side. Cut to today, and they are without a doubt one of the most trusted names in the game. These guys do everything, from the smelting to using their ladle metallurgy furnace to vacuum degassing. But you can't forget about their massive forging presses either. The heart and soul of Sorel, they're working with a 5,000-ton open-die hydraulic press, complete with wide dies to ensure the same high-quality product they've been delivering since the 1800s. Their hydraulic press can produce a forging up to 50 feet long and 72 inches in diameter, and can crunch those discs down to about 115 inches in diameter. Sorel's hydraulic presses offer more flexibility than their competitors, and the entire gamut is run via computer and totally synchronized with their 130-ton rail-bound manipulator. And just how big is Sorel's hydraulic press? Try 2,000 tons. Number 12. The Forged Bar. We've got bars, forge bars that is. A good steel bar forging machine can work with all sorts of metals, from carbon steel to stainless steel, from copper to something as strong as titanium, and can crank out as much as 60,000 pounds and 120 feet worth of bars. When you're heating up the billet, it reaches a maximum temperature of well over 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit on a good day. And sure, that level of heat is absolutely insane, but the only way to get that metal flexible and malleable enough to work with. But once it's hot enough and finally workable, the forging machine is going to roll it through a planing mill to give it its rounded shape. That hot rolled bar can be made relatively quickly, but once the metal is quickly cooled, then things can get a little tricky, especially if you don't know what you're doing. Warping is a very common occurrence during the cooling stage, and getting it to form the perfect dimensions and thickness and that nice smooth finish is pretty tough. And like so many things in life, timing is everything when it comes to a hot rolled bar. The chemical composition is changing so quickly that if you miss that window, you have to go back to the drawing forge. Number 11. Czech Precision Forges. You're really going to want to check out the next entry on our list of incredible forging machines. Czech Precision Forges is one of the top dogs in the world of forging, specializing in both open and closed die forging and churning out products for all types of industries, from renewable energy and power sectors to aviation and shipbuilders. Two of their biggest machines are the BGH 40 and the BGH 35, both of which are counterblow drop hammers equipped with gas furnaces and forging manipulators that can handle up to a 1-ton load. So it's safe to say that these forging machines can get a ton of work done in a day. Get it? Czech Precision Forges works with all sorts of materials, from construction steel to high-alloyed steels, copper and aluminum alloys, and specialty materials like mnemonic and titanium. And you've got to be mighty powerful to work with something like that, which is why the forge produces anywhere from 1,000 to 2,000 pounds at a time. They've been around for some time now, and it doesn't seem like they're going anywhere anytime soon. And there's a good reason why they're one of the best in the business.